Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Kingdom 2, a Japanese action film from 2022 that was directed by Shinsuke Sato, a man who has given us a plethora of entertaining movies over the past decade, which include I Am a Hero, Inuyashiki, and many others. He also directed the first Kingdom movie, of which this is a sequel. And by the way, do not confuse this franchise with the Kingdom television series, which is a Korean production about a zombie outbreak. These have nothing to do with one another, and I kind of wish they would come up with more creative titles so we wouldn't keep getting them confused. But in any case, I enjoyed Sato's first Kingdom movie, and there's a review on this channel from a few years ago. But how does the sequel compare? Well, let's find out here. The following plot synopsis was taken from Asian Movie Pulse, it's a good website, in a style that points more towards Chinese than Japanese epics. The original is actually based on the Warring States period. The sequel sees the State of Qin, who is now governed by Eisei after the events of the first movie, facing a new threat from a neighboring nation, the State of Wei. Headed by General Go Kei, a genius in military warfare, the forces of Wei start attacking the borders, while also implementing assassins to kill Eisei, who is barely saved by the efforts of Shin and Karyoten. In this way, he becomes a general, or he wants to become a general, and he has his first actual warfare experience, and this is like the real basis for the film. But he starts off as a foot soldier, part of a team. So there are some familiar faces who return at the start of this film, which is nice. You have Kento Yamazaki retains the lead role of the film, and he's entertaining to watch, despite some cheesy and overacting at times, which he does do on occasion. And that was something that was displayed in the first film as well. He's fine as our main character, which is important because he's forced to carry more of the film this time around. Now, in terms of the supporting cast, I was surprised that some of them returned, but received minimal screen time and were given almost nothing to do. And Ryo Yoshizawa and Kana Hashimoto are two such examples. They show up a few times, but they simply just kind of react to all the important stuff that happened in between their appearances. Even more disappointing is that some of the actors from the first film do not appear at all. Masami Nagasawa being a prime example here. I really enjoyed her character and her army of soldiers who in the first film were like seemingly able to be resurrected from the dead after they get hit with arrows and stuff. It was pretty cool. And her the whole gimmick or like abilities of her army were pretty neat. I was really hoping to see all of them return for the sequel, but none of them do. So that was kind of disappointing. They do add a female lead into this sequel, and she's pretty good. She's played by Nana Sano, who appeared in Tokyo Tribe and Nowhere Girl. She has some talent, and I've been looking forward to seeing her in more stuff, so I'm kind of glad she's here. Her character is part of an assassin clan within like the forest realm of this world, and she's looking for vengeance, and it provides a traditional story element that you kind of need for a film like this. So the character is pretty good. It provided kind of an important element to the film, but she's not as interesting as Nagasawa's character was in the first. So although the performances and the characters are good enough in this, I think that particular element was a bit weaker in this sequel when compared to its predecessor. But what about the action? Well, this begins with a pretty good fight involving our main protagonist and two assassins who seem to be from the same race or clan as one of the guys from the prior film. A nice way to kick things off. We also get a big battle scene early on, multiple one versus many moments within that scene, including one where the protagonist has to leap over the front lines of the enemy and distract them so that his allies can break through the front lines. It was a good scene. There's also a chariot attack. Yeah, they have chariots in this, and that was pretty good as well. After that, we're treated to a two versus many fight that takes place at night. After this happens, the pacing kind of quiets down for maybe 20 to 20 plus minutes in order to set up Nana Sano's story. But then, thankfully, we get right back to the action after that with kind of the big battle and the big finish. There's this big battle that takes place in multiple locations in the forest, as well as like the I guess the grassy plains, as they like to say. Lots of swordplay and arrow shooting. It's a good scene. And that's followed by another chariot fight race, or chase, and a one-on-one duel at the end. So the quantity of action in this is probably actually higher than its predecessor, and there is some fun stuff to enjoy. So the action element was pretty satisfying in this film. So I would describe Kingdom 2 as an entertaining crowd pleaser. I recommend this, but I do prefer the first installment because I think that the supporting actors and characters were just, I don't know, more fun and interesting when compared to the ones that we get here. But they're both worth watching, and both films are currently available on Netflix. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.